Do you want to talk about the story of when you didn't want to have me and you're like, oh no, I don't have enough money for the first child? I was always thinking of like making this car that can turn in like to any vehicle.
Luna, I believe everything can be sold.
How would you make that company if nobody wanted to be in the company?
If I couldn't make anything useful to sell to anybody, do a good job to anybody, and I made no money, you wouldn't have diapers, you wouldn't have food, and we would live under a bridge.
This is the Aaron Cordovez Show.
Luna!
Yeah?
You're here on the show. It's so good to have you here close to me.
Thank you.
So you know what this is?
What is?
The show.
This?
Yeah, you know what it says?
The Aaron Cordovez Show.
That's my show.
It's your show?
Yeah, I made it.
How do you make the TVs like make it big and connect?
So those TVs, you just connect it to a computer, and you just basically say you make all those four into one big one. You put the cable together and it shows up. I don't know. I didn't. Like someone else did that. Someone's entire job is to make those TVs be actually something, and that's their product. Just like we sell lemon squeezers, they sell TVs.
How do you get your stuff into stores? You know, you have Target, you have Sprouts, you have Dollar Tree, you have...
So how we get stuff into stores. No, I haven't done it that good. Actually, the store that works with us best so far that we've gotten into is TJ Maxx. You've been to TJ Maxx, right?
Yeah, they have clothes, right?
They have clothes. We got Mama some jewelry there one time.
Yeah.
They have like cool stuff. We buy toys there sometimes. Okay, so TJ Maxx. How we get into TJ Maxx, we have a person that we talk to. And their job is what's called a buyer. Imagine like, you buy stuff and you pay money, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like let's say right now, I was selling these microphones in the front door. If I had to sell them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody would have to buy it, right? Before I had it. How did I get it? I had to buy it. Right?
You would have to like buy it or...
You buy it first and then you sell it, right?
Yeah, but sometimes you can just buy stuff and sell it, buy stuff and sell it.
Yeah, but that's
You
what
can
all
do
the
that.
stores do. That's
But
what all the stores do.
but like at Dollar Tree, some people just buy something there and then they can sell it on Amazon for like way more. Like at Dollar Tree, they have stuff like on
$1.
like in
$1.25
$1.
now, actually. It changed. It's $1.25.
Oh. Like, these laser things,
Yeah.
some people would like buy that and then they could sell it on Amazon for
Let's
like
try it.
$5.
You ready?
You can
Can
do
we try
that.
it? So there's a buyer in TJ Maxx, also in Dollar Tree. All these places have a buyer. So they're like, hello, my name is Josefina, and I'm the buyer. Okay? And they have to figure out what people are going to buy in the store. So they have to meet people that have brands, like me, right? And then they talk to them, and they'll say, hey, how much is your lemon squeezer? And let's say we
Like
say whatever. There's a
that
laser.
one.
Like that big one, right? That huge one.
Is the first color like
Yellow
yellow
and
and green?
Yep. That's it.
Yeah, I knew that because I remember you were way younger and I saw these things.
I was
and
way younger.
You were younger?
I was way younger.
I was like playing with the lemon squeezer going like this.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I remember when not too long ago, maybe like 2 months ago, I was playing with one of them, but like not the same color. And I was squeezing oranges into this cup and then I made like that much oranges.
Yeah?
But I mean like, I don't know, that one probably squishes it better now.
Yeah, it's because that one's stronger. It's for, you're going to do a lot more lemons. So, how do we get it into the store? We have to do a price. Let's say that big one. Let's say we bought it for $40. Let's just say that was our price from at the factory. Okay? Or if we were on factory, but the parts or whatever was $40. So now, on the internet, maybe it sells for $100. Let's say.
100.
Let's say it sells for $100. We sell it to the people for $100. Now, we have to pay Amazon, let's say $20 to ship it. And we have to pay Amazon like $15.
Yeah, I know how to do that because remember I sold like this Vaporeon
Yeah, the
and then I don't know what else.
Yeah, that's all we did for now, but we'll do another one. We'll try the laser. We can do that whole thing. How to actually
Yeah, I
put
want to do the laser.
Let's do it. Amazon will take 15%, which will be $15 if it was $100, and then the shipping might be let's say it's $20. Let's say it's $15. Okay, that'll be $30. So Amazon did 100. We sold it for 100. We had to pay 40, so 60 left. Amazon took 30. We made 30. But from that 30, maybe we spent $10 in ads to send it. So we made $20. We put in 40. We made 20, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, what if we're selling that same thing to TJ Maxx? So TJ Maxx is like Amazon. You see how Amazon took $30, right?
Yeah.
So now to TJ Maxx, instead of selling to them for 40, we might sell it to them for 70. But they would never take it at that high price because that's a place where you're supposed to get deals. They really want always a price super low. So they don't want to buy it for less than half of what we sell it for. So if we only sold it for 100 and we tried to sell it for 50, we'll make almost no money because it's $40 and we have to do 50, so you have to put in 40 to make 10. And then what if something happens or they want to lower the price? It's hard. So for a product, it's good if you sell it for more, if you can sell it for more. So that one, I think we actually sell it for maybe 120. So in that case, if we sold it for 60, then that's okay because it cost us 40. We made 60. We made about half extra. That's pretty good. You're making 50% more. You put in $10 and then you get back 15. You made 50%. You made $5. That's pretty good. Okay. If we do that over and over and over, then you make a bunch of money. So the buyer has a conversation with us and they say we want these products, and then we give them the price and they have to check, are they going to have a good deal for the customer that walks into the store? And then they try it and they might buy 100 and they'll put it in the stores, and if it sells good, then they'll say give me 500 of them. And then we send it in, and then it sells pretty good, let me put in all the stores. They maybe, I don't know exactly how many stores they have, like 2,000 stores, 3,000 stores, so they'll say 2 for every store. Let me buy 6,000 of them. And then if you can make it so beautiful and pretty and working really good and something that no one else has.
Wait, you know what? I think if we bought like paint and arts and crafts stuff, we bought the flashlights from like the flashlight laser thing from Dollar Tree, like color on the thing and make it like prettier with designs, and then maybe we could do it with something like one Pokemon card maybe, or like one maybe battery for it, or like, with something.
Luna, I believe everything can be sold, right? You could make up something and see if it's selling. What's so cool about that is you can make it whatever you want to make, and you can ask people if they like it or not ask them. You put it up on Amazon, you get some people to click on it and see it and try to sell it to them. And if people buy it, then they want to buy it, and it's good, and then you keep making more and more. So you can try with anything. You have an idea to make anything? An arts and crafts things with some lights and some cool designs? You can make it, see if someone will buy it, and if they do, then you make more of it and you make other types and you make a whole thing out of that. People often ask me, hey, can I sit down with you one-on-one? Let me pick your brain, get whatever info from you on how to sell on Amazon, how to get started. Well, guess what? You can sit one-on-one with me for more than 3 hours on my mini course, aaroncordovez.com/start. And I will sit down with you one-on-one and give you all the info that I think you need to get started on Amazon. With Amazon ads continually increasing in price, what is going to be your competitive edge? At Samurai Seller, we've created a software that helps you take control of your Amazon ads, not just with ad tools, but tools for analytics into your business and your profitability to make sure that you're always increasing in sales and in profit. Try it for an entire month for free on me, samuraiseller.com/start, and get a free month of the cutting edge Samurai Seller software for Amazon performance.
Also, Pokemon cards? Does every year one of the Pokemon cards get like the price higher? Because I have a lot of old Pokemon cards that I get from people. And if I save them until like I'm 20, how much would they sell?
Okay, so it's a great question. The card that's the most expensive of all.
Is it first Pikachu?
Yeah, I think it's one of the Pikachus. It's actually a rare Pikachu, right? I think there was a big video on it. But the one that most people buy, there's not just one, I believe is the
I've-
Charizard.
Also, like the strongest Charizard, and I think it was also the first.
The first Charizard, not the strongest. He's not the strongest. They don't play him in the game a lot. It's just because they looks cool. Because people want it. If people knew how much that thing was gonna cost, then everybody would have had it, and nobody would have lost it, and it would have never become super valuable because everybody would have one. Nobody would have thrown them away. Do you see if people knew exactly which cards were gonna be more expensive and which cards were gonna be less expensive, if somebody knew exactly for sure, then they could become very rich. But the thing is, you cannot know which cards are going to go up in value because they go up in value depending on who wants to buy it.
Well, I just want to say one thing. Do you think I should keep all my Pokemon cards until I'm like 30 or 20?
You know, you can do anything that you want to do with the cards. Really.
Because I want to know if they'll go up or if they'll go down on value.
So, we don't know. That's what I was trying to say. Like, you can't know for sure. Because if people would know, then they could control the whole thing. But people don't. You don't know. Right? Like, there's this one Pikachu. When it came out, if people would say, oh, this is going to be $100,000, then the people who sell the cards maybe won't even sell it. They would just keep them because they sell that pack for like $5. So we don't know. They create it and they hope that it gets valuable and people play the game. And the people who wins the most here is the people who created Pokemon. People who create the cards. Those guys always win because they sell it the first time and it continues to get more and more, and then they do tournaments and all this kind of stuff. Those guys make the most money if you have the brand. Now if you do some cool stuff with it, you can also make some money. But the idea is, who did the most stuff for Pokemon? The guys who created Pokemon. Pokemon wouldn't exist. So of course they're going to get paid the most because they're the ones who created the idea. They
I could just create like something like a toy or like a TV show and then make a game out of it, and then it would like if I didn't do that, like it would never exist.
That would be the biggest because you created a whole world. You created something that's like brand new. That's like big. You know, like my friend Jay.
He created like
This little ball. I don't know if you ever saw it. I didn't show it to you. It's called Mr. Predicto. And you go like this and it goes.
Oh yeah. I think you have one in your like office thing.
Yeah. He also made these little tiny vampires. They're like little balls. They're called like vampirettes or something.
I thought you were talking about somebody else. Remember like the unicorn stuffy?
That's the same guy. That's the same guy.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
He made. Can I tell them what
yes, of course.
he made?
Yeah.
He made like this stuffy that was like named Violet because it reminded him of Violet. So he made a unicorn stuffy of Violet, and when you squish it, its horn would light up and it would like made a farting noise, because I think it's because Violet would always love to fart and just smile when she farted.
That's right.
So then he made that for her, and then he named it Violet, just like my sister's name.
Because she liked it, and he had said, "Would you like it?" And she said yes, and she
And
made
then
it. So that's that right there. You're creating it. That's where it's like it's amazing because it didn't even exist before. It didn't even exist. Like this kind of frother, like this gold color frother, didn't exist. We said we wanted this color. You're creating something that never existed before. That's always like pretty cool.
So like, if I created shoes that could turn, like that could teleport you to anywhere you wanted to.
Oh my gosh, that would be.
always
the richest person
I was
by far.
I was always thinking of like making this car that can turn in like to any vehicle, and I still want to know how to make it, and I still want to try, and I still want to know how to make cars, planes, so then I can get all that information into one car. That, because I always like, if you have to pay to go on a plane and like pay to buy a car, why don't you just make a car like by trying? Or why don't you just like invent something that like is a car that can turn into like a plane or can turn into like a submarine. And I always been having ideas of
I love that. I love that. So I had ideas like that too. I remember I wanted to make a car that was like, if you wouldn't want to be stuck in traffic, the wheels can get really big, and then you can drive over people, and then you would never be stuck in traffic. I actually drew that once to see if I can make it. I didn't make it yet, but you always want to make things better, and that's amazing. So I would say the best way to get there, okay, so to make a plane, you're going to need to be able to make a wheel for sure first, right? Like something like that. So you can learn, one of the best things to learn is physics, right? Physics is how the world works and how all the things work and how it turns and how the lights work and the microchips, all that kind of stuff. Because the more you learn about that, now you can make the wheel that's needed for that. Then you make the next piece, and you make the next piece, and you make the next piece. Because you get smarter and better as you could do one piece, then you do the next piece, and the next piece, and the next piece. That's how I would do it if I was going to make like a plane that could turn into a car, it could turn into a plane, it could turn into a boat. Like if I was going to make that, I'm going to go, okay, I need to know everything that people know about things. Physics.
And also, Transformers?
Yes.
I also need, I think, maybe the thing could also, already look like it. Like, maybe it would just, have to put up the wheels and then it would be a boat. And,
Yeah.
you can make a car that looks like a boat and it can turn into a boat.
Yeah.
You
I think they actually have that for real life.
A real life?
I think so. I think there's like a car, they'll go and like the wheels come up and it becomes a boat. So those people have that information. They might even have a book on it. And so you learn, okay, how to make the cars, how to make the boats, how to change it. All this stuff is learnable. All this stuff you can learn.
If you make something, are you allowed to keep it and learn how to make more of it?
Of course. Absolutely.
So.
Whatever you can make, if
How-
you make it, it's yours. If you made it, it's yours. I mean.
So let's say you wanted to own a company like you do. How would you make that company if nobody wanted to be in the company? Could you just
Good
make
question.
a company by yourself?
Yeah, that's right.
Just
Every
by
company
yourself?
Yep. Well, most companies either start with one person or let's say 2 or 3 people. Maybe sometimes 4 or 5, but companies don't start with all bunch of people. Normally they do not.
Do you want to talk about the story of when you didn't want to have me and you're like, oh no, I don't have enough money for the first child.
I was really
and then Whitney, your wife, told you
Your mama.
and pushed you to get me.
Do I want to talk about that? No.
No?
No, look, I mean, I've talked about it before, but look, Luna, you did amazing. Somehow you came here, and you
if
made it happen.
if I wasn't alive, this wouldn't be happening.
No, it would not be happening at all. It would not happen. I don't know. I would be stuck and was watching TV all day and playing video games all day, and I would have not created anything. It's probably really true actually.
And then probably right now we would be close to poor.
Yes, that's right. That would be probably true.
And I would not be in Delphi.
Yeah, that's true.
And
yeah.
I can't believe one little thing made this whole place.
It's true. It's true. One little thing is always how it starts. You do one little piece, Luna. And that's what we're doing now. We're doing one thing. Because when you learn, you have an idea, then you can do it. And sometimes you do need a bit of pushing. Because I needed pushing. I was not ready. I do want to talk about it now. So I was really scared. Because I thought if I couldn't make anything useful to sell to anybody, do a good job to anybody, and I made no money, you wouldn't have diapers, you wouldn't have food, and we would live under a bridge. That's what I was thinking.
Oh yeah, you told me that. And you said, but what if we would have no food and we would live under a bridge? And
I didn't want to do that. If I did it to myself, that's one thing. But if I had to do that with you, that would be really terrible. And so then, when you were in mommy's belly, I was like, oh my gosh, I need to do something. And then.
And how did you create the company?
So after you were born, Jason told me, hey, there's this thing Amazon, and you could make a brand and do this whole thing. And I said, okay, let's try it. Just one little thing. It was just one try. Let's do one little try.
Wait. Was Jason the first person to be in your company?
No.
Who was it?
The first person to be in the company, I think it was a guy in Venezuela. His name was Norman. I think that's the first person we hired. Yeah, Norman. He was making. So here's your first. One of your questions is like, hey, when you make a company, who do you start it with? Well, it's one person. 2 people, me and Mama. Okay. We started, and then we have to make decisions. Okay, what are we gonna pick? What are we gonna make this? Okay, let's try it together. We tested that lemon squeezer. We made it. It was just me. I did everything. And when you do everything yourself, you learn everything yourself. Because normally, if you're starting your first company or a company, a lot of times you might not know how to do the thing you're doing. You just don't know it. How do I don't know how to sell stuff. Like, I had no idea. But I can learn. So I did a course, and it tells me, do this. And I'm learning from someone who did it before. And they said, do this, this, and this. Make this pretty image. Do this. Put your ad right there. Make a title that has these words. Do this. Pick something you can start in. Da-da-da. All this stuff. Hours and hours and hours learning, studying, reading again, trying, talking to other people who sell. And then we put it, and it started selling. And we started selling lemon squeezers, and then...
What was your first item?
The lemon squeezer.
It was?
Yeah, the very first one.
What was your second one? The knife sharpener?
I think it was a knife sharpener. Knife sharpener, and then I think a can opener, and then a measuring cups, and then a milk frother, but a really bad one that was horrible that we had to stop making because it was so bad.
Did it look like those or no?
No, those are beautiful and amazing. It was one that was really, really ugly. It was the only one I could find. It was horrible and hideous, and I got really bad reviews because it would break all the time. And I cried a lot. Like, I didn't actually cry, but like I was like figuratively crying.
Like, oh my God.
Exactly, like that. Crying like that. And so what happened is I had to go find an actual milk frother that was amazing because it sold a lot, but then when people said what they thought about it, it stopped selling because they said it was horrible and garbage and it broke, which it was. We only sold like, I think 600. We bought like 6 colors, 200, so maybe like 1,000. So they all sold, and then the reviews came and it was like, this thing is terrible because it only lasted like a month. So I said, oh my gosh, I need to make one that's way better. And that's when I went and found one and made the motor like take a long time and last for a really long time. And then that one did really good, and we got it to number 1 because we did the most colors and we did the most beautiful and we worked on the image and this. And anyway, that's the whole story.
And also, remember you said you would, I was like I don't know what it's called, but like where you had like all your like frothers, and then I picked one out for me and one out for Violet, remember?
I had the list.
And the rainbow tree.
Yes, I still have the picture. I have it right here. I never got them for you, but look, I still have it in my wallet. Look. You have the tree one, and Violet has...
the sun one.
I still have it here on my list. Well, let's go pick it out right now, okay? So we'll finish this, or we're going to go find your frothers.
Okay.
The heart one and the sun one.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Thank you for reminding me. I still have it in my wallet. Let's go.
Okay.
That was a long time ago.
I'm like, I just remembered after all these things.
Thank you, Luna. Our first show together, Luna.